13 of Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. And of course it's Monday, so today is also Secret Not Secret Kit Club Scrapbooking with a Twist, where Christina every Monday sends me a challenge to work, and I'm working with my kit, obviously my current kit. So sometimes it can be a story focus, sometimes it's a grab 5, a sketch, but throughout the month of July, in honor of Off the Board, Christina sent me pins to be working with every single Monday, and she is also joining my friend Karina, who is participating over on Instagram, and I every Monday. So pop on over to Christina's channel as well. And of course, as always, everybody who is playing along with Crystal and I will be linked down below. Is this not a gorgeous pin? Christina finds the most awesome inspiration pieces, and she does this too during our scrapbook, our monthly scrap parties. They are always so inspiring, and I love so much about this. It's sort of the monochromatic. It would have been awesome with a black and white and some doodly. In fact, so much so that I am going to use this pin again, and I'll show you a little bit more why at the end of this video. So let's see what I did. And I mean, I like the layout for sure, but I think with this pin, I really could have done so much more. But this is what it is. This is what it is today. This is what I was inspired to do. And I basically just took the inspiration from the way all of these lovely light bulbs were hanging, and a little bit from my own inspiration wall in my scrap space, and I decided to recreate that type of design. So this is going to go into my great niece's album, of course. It's from her graduation in 2019, and I think it could be sort of a little bit of an introduction to that mini-series, because this is her with her mom and her sister buying the dress, and then this is her at the actual ceremony just after the dinner, I believe, posing with the dress. And there are so many other photos with groups and kinds of things that can go, that are being, that, oh my goodness, man, I'm having trouble speaking this morning, that I am doing in that album. So I think this could be a little bit of either a summary or an introduction. So what I did is I took different size circles. I used my dies, and you see here, to make this kind of wider frame, I used 2 circles, one within the other, but not the next size down, but rather the third size down, so that I could have a little bit of a wider frame. And I just did some circular frames. These are, I did the more traditional way with just the more narrower, so I used the 2 nesting dies that followed one another in size. And then the circle, of course, I have the circle left over, which I have been able to use within here to make this one. And this, I just nestled it right back in. It fit right back in to the actual frame. So this being, I guess, a little bit the main photo, the larger frame. Of course, I used my dies to cut the photos as well. And then I placed this photo on a doily to give it just a little bit more prominence. And oh, and I forgot, of course, to tell you that on the background, I just used some white cardstock here on the background, dug my watercolors out, and just did some very broad strips to sort of maybe give the illusion of a little bit of a shelf behind there where all of these are resting. Same thing with this photo here, and I just used the word pretty that I had in my kit, that I had added to my kit, because of course, aren't they pretty, all 3 of them. This one down here was just perfect to put the date, June 2019, and this one up here for perhaps a little bit of journaling, if Adela wants to do a little bit of journaling, whether it just be the facts or whether she wants to talk about what's coming up in the album. Just a few pops of color. I really stayed within the greens with a little bit of greeny yellow and just a touch of blue to match the dress and this photo here. But I did want just a pop of color, so I went in and I got a couple of floral stickers, of course, from the 5th in Monaco. Added them here and here, so I have them in 3 places. A fun little butterfly here, these little birds, which I think are just cute little, are they budgies or, yeah, they're budgies or parakeets, I'm not quite sure what you call them. And then to hang all of these lovely things on the wall, I just basically took inspiration from my own wall, went here in the back, and then just did this fun stitch, put that up there, and I used a brad. I used a brad right there, so I did exactly the same thing here, here, and here. This one, I just did a little back stitch up here so that it looks maybe a little bit more like an ornament. And this one, I'm not quite sure what I was trying to do here. I sort of just went up and across, and then I looked there and I said, you know, that actually looks like an ornament that's not actually on a tree or not hanging from anywhere. So I just went in with a marker and sort of made that go off the page as if perhaps the actual tying of it on the wall is up over the layout. So there you go. And then a couple of other stickers. Remember, forever, pretty, it's all in the details. Amazing, just because they fit well with the layout. So I do like the layout. It certainly is different. You can see the inspiration in here, but I was talking with Christy on the day that I made this layout, and she reminded me that in one of our Creative Cuts Club kits, we had received a large light bulb. So there you go. So that's why I'm saying I am going to redo this, because look at this gorgeous light bulb. You could do something here on a background, maybe do a little bit of watercoloring on the light bulb itself, some sort of metallic silver here, and a little bit of maybe just iridescent glaze kind of thing. Do some doodling, I think, with maybe a photo right here. That could be just another lovely, lovely layout. And then when I was talking with Christy and she reminded me of this, that reminded me of a little container that I've had for years and years and years. Way back when, I think the last few kits that I received from Scraptastic, they had started sending some small cut files, and also Ashley Horton at one point many years ago decided to sell some of her cut files pre-cut, and I don't think that lasted very long. I went in, I did a quick little order, and I think she stopped immediately after that order. Now, whether she stopped only for international or completely, I'm not too sure, but this is many, many years ago. However, so that means that in my stash, I have smaller light bulbs that are a little similar to this one here. This one that says Idea, I think this was a Scraptastic kit, another one of these. And then I have 2 that have these lovely little hearts in them. So I could do something with that. So that could be 1 or even 2 more layouts, but I definitely know that I will be back with this pin towards the end of the month, and Christy is going to try and join me as well. So there you go. So there is my day 13, and a little bit of a sneak into a day that might be coming during the last week of Off the Board. Thank you so much for being with me. Tell me, what did you immediately see from this pin, and what would you do? And I would love to see you use this pin. Tag me, tag Christina, tag Crystal, of course, when you're using pins. Link us to your video. I would love, post it in the Mercy Tiara 27-day group. I would love to see your take on this. In the meantime, tell me what that brought to mind for you. And I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Bye.